Hello and welcome to all. In today's session, we'll see top 25 manual testing interview questions. So first, we'll start with what is the software testing. So software testing is the process not only finding the defects, okay, but it's also evaluating a software application to ensure it meets the business requirements. It works as expected under the real world condition and minimize the risk before going live. Okay, so if we consider the e-commerce application, so it ensures users can search the product, add them to cart, make payment successful, and receive the order confirmation. Next, what is the difference between the verification and validation? So verification means are we building the product right? Okay, so we are doing in verification the review things we are doing, requirements and design checks we are doing. Validation means are we building the right product? So as part of validation we are doing the actual testing. Okay, so verification is the static testing, we can say it. Validation is the dynamic testing. Okay, so if you see here, I give the example verification. Okay, reviewing the requirement documents for login rules. Okay, whereas validation is executing the actual login test cases. Okay, so if you see, so business impact is it prevents the requirement gaps and rework cost. Next is what is the SDLC and STLC. SDLC is nothing but the software development life cycle. It processes building the software from requirements to maintenance, and STLC is the testing activity aligned with the each software development life cycle phase. Okay, so here during requirement phase, tester review the requirements to catch the gaps early. Okay, and the business value it's increase early defect detection, reduce the cost, and improve the delivery timelines. Okay. Next, levels of testing with example. So first is the unit level of testing, integration, system, and UIT. So unit testing is nothing but the validating the individual components, where the integration testing is validating data flow between the two different modules, and system testing is the validating entire application, and UIT is nothing but the validate business acceptance, user acceptance testing. Okay, so here, like if you see the example, like payment module, if you tested only payment module, it's a unit level testing. Okay, but if you consider payment plus order system, then it's a integration. Okay, and it ensures the stable and reliable production releases. Okay, so this is the levels of testing. Then what is the smoke testing? Smoke testing verifies the critical functionalities after a new build. Okay, so in production environment, when we deploy the latest build, okay, we are doing the quick smoke testing. Okay, so we'll ensure that build is stable. Okay, and like for example, login, homepage load, payment page accessibility. Okay, here we are just checking whether login is happening successful. After login, home page is load successfully, and payment page is also coming correctly and working as per the requirement. Okay, so it avoids the wasting effort on the unstable builds. What is a test case? A test case is a documented set of steps, data, and expected results to verify a specific requirements. So, example, login with valid username and password. Okay, then we have expected result. It should happen. Login successful. Okay, so well-written test case reduce production defects and client escalations. Okay, so we need to make sure that we'll cover all the test cases. Then what is the difference between the test scenario and the test case? Test scenario is what to test. Test case is how to test. Okay, like scenarios verify login functionality, where test case is like we need to verify actual test case, like actual test data, enter valid credentials, valid password, valid username, and submit. Okay, so it ensures scenarios covers and test case ensure the accuracy. Okay, what is a defect? A defect is a mismatch or discrepancy between the expected business behavior and the actual system behavior. Okay, like for example, if you consider the same e-commerce application, then user charge twice during the payment. It's a defect. Okay, so it direct financial loss and the trust as well. Okay, next is the defect life cycle. Okay, so here we need to explain the defect life cycle. Like tester finds a defect, then status is a new, then development project, development manager. Okay, or the we can say product owner or the stakeholders, okay, they came together, okay, and they analyze the defects, okay, in trials meeting, okay, and they are asking the three questions here: is it a valid defect? If it is a yes, then it is considering, is it in the scope of current release? If it is a answer is yes, is it already raised? Okay, answer is yes, then its status is marked as duplicate. Whereas the if is it under the scope current release, the answer is no, then it is deferred, okay, for next release. Whereas the earlier condition, is it a valid defect? If the answer is no, they are simply marking as the status rejected, okay. And if the defect is all, if is it is already raised no, then it developers start the fixing, okay, and it's assigned to development team. Then developers change the status in progress. Once development team or developer fix the things, he change the status fixed, okay, and then it's deployed to QA environment, and then QA re-verify the defect. Okay, if test pass, this mark as a close. If test case fail or not pass, then status is reopened and again assigned back to respective developer. So this is a defect life cycle. Okay. Next is what is the severity versus priority. Severity, it's related to impact on the functionality, where the priority, it's the urgency to fix. Okay, usually severity is done by the QA, and the priority it's done by product or the business. Okay, so here give the login misalignment. Okay, logo misalignment. It's a low severity but high priority. Before the release, we need to fix it. What is the regression testing? So it's ensure the existing features work after the new changes or the fixes. Okay, so if we add any code or any new features, we need to make sure that the existing features works as expected. Okay, so now if you see here, if we are adding the coupons features, then checkout flow, it should work as expected. Okay, it's prevent the unexpected failures in production. And what is the alpha and beta testing? Alpha testing usually done by the internal testing team, whereas beta testing is done by the external users. And usually alpha testing is done before the release, whereas the beta testing is done by the after the release. And what is the test plan? A test plan is a document. It defines what, how, when, and who will test it. Okay, now if you see here, it's include the scope, schedule, risk area, okay, and all these details. And if you see business insight, like it's provide the clarity and the stakeholder confidence. Then what is the entry and exit criteria? So entry criteria is the condition to when to start the testing, and exit criteria is the when we stop the testing and release the product. Usually exit criteria when critical defects is equal to zero. Okay, it prevents the premature or risky release. Then what is the exploratory testing? Okay, testing without predefined test cases. Okay, so we don't have the test cases. So as an experience, okay, the tester is testing, doing the exploratory testing. Okay, it helps to identify the hidden usability issues. Okay, and like if you see business benefit is like find real world user issues. Okay, which is missed by the scripts or the manual testers or the automation. Okay, what is black box testing? Testing the functionality without the code knowledge. Okay, for example, validating the login inputs. Okay, so here we are just checking the functionality, functional workflow. We are not checking the how the code is written and all these things. Okay, the code is written in any language. It may be either Java or the .NET. Okay, so we are just checking the features. Okay, it represents the real customer uses. Okay, next question. Test design techniques. Okay, so basically we are using the as a part of black box testing, equivalence partition, BVA, boundary value analysis, and the decision table. Okay, like example, give the password length validation. Okay, it maximize the coverage with fewer test cases. Basically, test design techniques we need to implement as and when we start any user story. Okay, as a part of test kit design. Okay, so it will helpful to maximize the coverage with fewer test cases. Okay, what is retesting? It verifies a specific defect fix. Okay, so it's rechecking the corrected payment bug. Okay, it's confirm the issue is resolved. If issue is resolved, we'll change the status like fix to close or resolved. Then what is the retesting versus regression? Retesting, we are focusing on the specific fix. Okay, regression, we are focusing on the the older features should work as expected and the build should be stable. Okay, so it increases the quality. What is the test environment? So test environment nothing but the hardware, software, and the data setup for testing. So QA environments it like mirrors like a production environment. So it reduces the production surprises defects coming when we deploy the latest tool in pro- production environment. Then what are the manual testing documents? The basically we have a test plan, test cases, defect report, test summary. Okay, it ensures the traceability and the audit readiness. And what is the UAT? So UAT is nothing but the user acceptance testing. Okay, typically it's done by the end user or the business perspective. Okay, so here client test the payroll system before it's go live. Okay, what is a white box testing? Testing with knowledge of internal code logic. Usually is done by the development team. Okay, so as a part of QA, we need to provide the conditions only to dev team, and dev team will perform the white box testing. Then what is the requirement traceability matrix? RTM. RTM maps the requirements to test case. So it ensures 100% requirements coverage. And next question is what are the challenges in manual testing? So basically, if you see, uh, basic challenge is the time pressure. Okay, then we need to frequent changes and limited documentation. Okay, so business understanding is like requirement adaptability and the strong combination. Okay, so here, like if you see time pressure, we have multiple releases. Okay, so nowadays we are using the agile methodology, and in agile methodology we have a monthly releases. Okay, and we need to the client needs to release the like different features monthly. Okay, so as a part of QA, manual QA, we have a time pressure. Okay, frequent changes are coming from product. Okay, we also need to implement it. We also need to give the thorough testing. Okay, and we need to release the in production environment. So this is the challenges. Okay, usually we are coming. Okay, so this is the top 25 manual testing interview questions. If in case you have any questions, query, please let me know. Thank you.